back.
Merhaba arkadaşlar, hepiniz IEFT Talks webinarlarına hoş geldiniz. Şimdi University of Liverpool'dan Simon bizlere üniversite hakkında bilgiler veriyor olacak. Lütfen Questions bölümünden sorularınızı sormayı unutmayın. Yes, Simon, the stage is yours now.
Great, thank you. So hello everyone. My name is Simon. I'm the Digital Media Officer for the International Summer School at the University of Liverpool. Thanks very much for signing up, and thank you for spending some time out of your day to join us for this presentation. It's going to be a very quick introduction to the International Summer School. It's a specialist program that'd be interesting for people who are looking for the authentic UK experience, a taster of studying at a well-renowned university. So those who are looking for a boost to their CV, both for job hunting or future study. Benefits if you're looking to study at a postgraduate level in the future, discounts and so on. If you're looking to meet people from all around the world and have an international experience, but one that is also fun, life-changing for 2021, potentially 2022, whenever your plans are. So just as an introduction, this is our team, and there's two things that should be obvious. Is that one, we're a very small team, and two, none of us have very good eyesight because we all wear glasses. But the good thing about us having such a small team is that we have a much closer working relationship with our students, and it's much easier to access us, to speak to us, and to get in contact. And we are proud of that more one-to-one and personal experience that we do offer to our students. So today we're going to cover these areas that are on screen at the moment, but obviously it would be great if we could get some questions at the end. I'm more than happy to spend some time answering any questions about anything that we have covered or we haven't covered in this presentation. It's really designed for students who are interested in a different way of studying, but it's also for parents and university counsellors. So it is something that would be interesting for everyone involved. So we're going to focus on really what is a summer school, who is it for, what are the benefits to you, which are the most important things, obviously benefits now, but also for your future, and also how it will work in 2021. Obviously, with everything that's been going on in the last 12 months, the International Summer School has adapted the way in which it offers the program, in a way that is hopefully more flexible and gives you options. So you don't have to, for example, come and study in person. You have online options, there are English options. But anyway, I'll go into that more as we go through the presentation. So what is a summer school? So as it suggests, it's an academic study session over the summer. There's lots of different types of summer schools, particularly in the UK. Lots of different offerings, and I'm sure if you have signed up for this webinar, you may have already considered a summer school and have done some research, particularly for 2020. Obviously, we were unable to do our 2020 program last year because of COVID restrictions. If you are looking at a summer school in Liverpool or elsewhere, you should be looking for the following things. And asking these types of questions. So, does it fit with my summer plans? When is the summer? When will I study? Am I on campus? Is it online? Who is teaching me? Who are the academics and the teachers? Am I classed as a real student of this university? What does my transcript say? Do I get a certificate at the end? What benefits do I get from this? And then what do I do outside of the classroom? You know, what is the social program? What is life going to be like on this course? And then finally, who else takes part on this program? Because obviously, if you are going abroad, you want to have an experience that is international, that isn't just a social group that is just people that you already know or from the same country. You want to be able to have an experience with lots of people from all over the world. That's where you get the most benefit. So, in response to the first question, these are the dates of the course. So you will see that there are 3 different ways in which you can study on the International Summer School. We have a full 6-week program from the 14th of June to the 23rd of July. But then you can also, instead of doing the full 6 weeks, you can choose to either do the first 3 weeks or the second 3 weeks. Now, if you choose either of the 3-week options, the modules that are available do change. So the types of modules that you might be looking at and the ones that you might find with our program may be in one part of the program, or you might want to do the whole program and do modules from both sections of the 3 weeks. Basically, this is the first point in which I want to state that we have made the course very flexible. We wanted to fit in with your plans. We wanted to fit in with how you want to take this program. And as we go through the presentation, you'll see there are other things that we have put in place to ensure that it is flexible for you. Also, don't worry about writing all of this down. I will provide you with our website, which has all of the information that you are going to get in this presentation. And as well, following the presentation, we are going to send out a communication to all of you who have signed up with all of the key points, linking you to some important content, such as our module guide, some student testimonials, and so on. So a 3-week course is just enough time to really make the most of an academic course. It gives you a chance to get to know your colleagues, your classmates, your teachers, and to find out more about Liverpool and get involved in that Liverpool experience. After 6 weeks, though, we would expect you most likely to have a Liverpool accent that is stronger than mine, and telling your family you want to move here and live here because Liverpool is great. It's boss, as we would say. So again, because of the situation that the world finds itself in at the moment, we have worked very hard to develop our program so that there are various different ways in which you can study with us. So the 3 options that you see here, we have an online option where you will study from your own home when it's in a way that suits you within those the time periods we've already mentioned. You will also study on campus, and that option is still open at the moment. And then there is also an English communication skills pathway. Now, I'm going to go into more detail with each one of these options, but in short, all of the modules that you see, the 15 credit modules and your 5 credit modules are all accredited, so they can actually have you can transfer that credit to your university through the European credit transfer scheme. The English communication skills pathway is not accredited, and I'll explain more about what that means and why it is different from the online and on-campus options. So to start, I'll start with the on-campus options. So the modules that you will study on campus are worth 5 credits each. So it's the equivalent of 2.5 ECTS each. If you choose to study 3 weeks, you will choose 4 modules. If you choose to do 6 weeks, you will do 8 modules. Now, with the 5 credit modules, they are arranged in different pathways. So within each of the pathways that you see here, there are modules which relate to the topic. You can choose to either study modules just in one pathway, or you can choose modules across different pathways. So for example, if you are doing the first 3-week block, you could choose 4 modules from Global Grand Challenges, or you could mix it up and say, well, I'd like to do 2 historical perspectives, 1 international cross-border concerns, and 1 with Global Grand Challenges. And it's the same with the 4 weeks as well. The 4 to 6 week block as well. So again, you have flexibility in the modules that you can take. You can specialize in an area that you're currently studying in, and to get outside views and the Liverpool view on these topics to enhance what you already know, or you can choose to mix it up in order to get more of a general feel about what studying in the UK is like. There is also an English communication skills module that you can take as one of your 4 or 8 modules. This is not credit bearing, but it enables students who are on the on-campus pathways to still take an English communication skills module if they so wish. Now, for 2021, we launched 15 credit modules. So 15 credits is a standard module at the University of Liverpool. So when students study here, they will do, over the course of 1 year, they will do a certain amount of 15 credit modules. So for this year, we have 6 15 credit modules, also accredited, so they can be transferred. And they will enable you to specialize in one subject area, because if you study for one of the 3-week blocks, you will study one of the 15 credit modules. If you choose to do the 6 weeks, you'll study 2 modules. And the reason for that is that these modules go into a lot more depth on the topic in a way that you don't necessarily get with the 5 credit modules. There are more lectures that will take up the entirety of your timetable for the 1 module, 2 modules, rather than the 5 credit modules, which have less contact time. This is obviously an online delivery for this year. Obviously, this is where we have looked to develop an option which is, again, flexible, but it allows you to still get the same, similar benefits to studying on campus. So you have direct contact with your academics through live and asynchronous, so recorded sessions, as well as direct contact with your fellow students, either through specific classes, but also through an online social program that we are setting up, as well as having full online campus access. So you would get the same campus access, well, campus benefits that on-campus students would get. So you would get access to the libraries, you know, your student ID, all that. We'll go into that again in more detail. So the modules that we have, they're also infused with Liverpool DNA, is how we describe it. So they are, for the most part, because we have University of Liverpool academics and teachers, and because of this type of topic that we are doing in these 15 credit modules, they are very specific in a way to Liverpool. So they give the Liverpool perspective on these topics, and Liverpool is at the heart of them. This gives you a very unique experience because it's specifically Liverpool modules. So for example, you have Cemented by Blood, Liverpool and the Transatlantic Slave Trade. That will be very much at the heart of Liverpool's history. And same with Liverpool Memory and the Media, and as well with Sustainable Development Goals. But all of these modules have that Liverpool DNA built in. So again, you get that unique experience that you would get just with us. In order for you to study on the International Summer School, because you are studying academic modules, your English level needs to be at an IELTS 6.0 or equivalent. But if you have an IELTS English language score between 5 and 6, you are able to rather than accessing the main academic program, you can still be a part of the summer school on our English communication skills pathway. So even though these modules do not carry credits that you can transfer, they are very much focused on practical English language improvements. They're specifically focused towards employability, key skills, key communication skills, to give you more of a realistic grounding in the English language, something that is more natural, that doesn't feel too much as if it's coming out of a textbook and you're just saying it again. It's very practical, and it's very focused in helping you practically improve your English. As part of that, being on the ECS pathway, you still, once again, have access to all the same benefits as our online students and our on-campus students. You will have access to our social program. If it's on campus, obviously you'll have the on-campus social program, or if it's online, then you will have the online social program, but you will get all the benefits that come with being a student with us and being with students of the university. Again, I haven't mentioned too much of those benefits yet, but I will go on to them. Obviously, as well, I appreciate that this is a lot of information. There is a lot of different ways you can study with us. At the end, I will be answering as many questions as I can. And obviously, I will give you our contact information so you can contact us, and we are going to contact you with information following the webinar as well. So don't worry too much if it seems like there's a lot of information, because there is. So with the 15 credit modules and your 5 credit modules, I've already mentioned that they are accredited. So that means that they can be transferred to if you're currently studying a university course, they are accredited modules that can be transferred. So if you do a 3-week course with us, you earn up to 20, you can earn up to 20 University of Liverpool credits. So that's around 10 credits with the European Credit Transfer Scheme. Obviously, if you do 6 weeks, that is doubled. So it's quite a significant amount of credits. We know that with other summer schools in the UK, this accreditation is quite rare. It is something that not a lot of universities do with their summer schools. I've mentioned here about a transcript. So at the end of the summer school, at the 3-week point and at the 6-week point, we have 2 bespoke graduation ceremonies for all of our students. Whether they are online or in person, we will have specific graduations. Students will receive a transcript and a certificate that states that they have passed those courses, and it can be then transferred to other universities as well. We have had a number of students, previous students, come to us recently in particular to ask for transcripts and certificates to be sent to their new university when they move on to postgraduate level. We also have students who have returned to study at postgraduate level here at the University of Liverpool. That's how much they enjoyed studying with us. And there are a lot of benefits that come with if you are considering postgraduate study. So when I say that you get all the benefits of being a University of Liverpool student, if you're on campus, you'll have access to our sports centre, to our Guild of Students, physical access, obviously, to the libraries and computer facilities. And obviously, you will be living on campus with us if you do the on campus. You'll be living at Crown Place, which is one of our best accommodations at the university. If you are an online student, you still are able to connect, and you're still able to have that full student access. It's just obviously slightly different. So you would have access to all of our online library resources, which is quite significant. That includes all your journals and so on. And you can keep that access once you become an alumni. So you will always have access to those facilities. Obviously, again, welfare facilities, computing facilities, and online Guild of Students activities. So if you don't know what a Guild of Students is, it's a student-led group as part of the university that does events and also is the voice of students at the university. So like I said, whether you're on campus or you're online, you have access to the same as any full-time undergraduate students. Obviously, on campus, you will still get access to the gym, and you'll be living on accommodation. One of the main benefits, which I've kind of already slightly mentioned, is that there are strong benefits to future study if you study with us on the international summer school. So when you complete your course with us, because you are a fully registered student, once you graduate from this program, either 3 weeks or 6 weeks, or the ECS pathway, online, on campus, it doesn't matter. You are classed as an alumni of the university, and that makes you eligible for the Postgraduate Progression Award. Couldn't say that there. So you can, if you are looking to proceed onto postgraduate study and you want to study at the University of Liverpool, you can save up to 10% of your tuition fees on postgraduate study. So as an example, if you're studying with us online, the cost is around £1,650, as an example. If you do a 1-year postgraduate degree, for example, MSc Entrepreneurship and Innovation Management, as an example, that costs around £20,000 in the UK. But depending on your final grade at the university, you can at your university now, you could get between £2,000 and £2.5 £2,500, so £2,000 to £2,500 in reduction on your tuition fees. So the course, in a way, kind of it pays for itself at the end of the day, because you are getting that discount. Plus, you're getting a summer experience, interaction with your academic departments in advance. So if you're doing management modules and then you study at a management postgraduate course, you're already interacting with that department with the summer school, because the management academics, for example, come from the school where you would be studying that course. Yeah. Plus, you'll be meeting friends in advance from all over the world. You've already got a great boost to your CV and your resume because you've done this study already. So there are a lot of benefits, obviously financial, plus all of the experience that you get from studying with us. Now, the next slide, I was going to switch to a video which had some feedback from some of our students from the last summer school we ran in 2019. I've had a bit of difficulty getting it to run, so I'm going to put it in the chat after the presentation, so that you can watch that in your own time, and I'll also put it in our further communication afterwards. But basically, our students are, it's fine listening to me and me saying that the school is great, that the summer school is great, and that you should definitely come. But we have that feedback already from our students. So Maria was with us in 2019 from Unirita in Brazil, and she really enjoyed the course. Obviously, this is only a small part of the feedback that we did get, but on our website, we have her full thoughts about her study on the summer school. I'll just leave that up for a second. But to give you a sort of idea, like I said, we have had students who have returned for postgraduate study following studying on the ISS. We also have had students, recommending their friends and their family. And that's really positive for us. I think that shows that we are doing something which is beneficial and that people are enjoying, and they're getting a lot of benefit from. So moving on, here's another quote from 3 of our students from the last few years. Again, what should be obvious is that we've got quite a diverse amount of students. So we have the Uni del Valle de Mexico, Monash University in Malaysia, Queensland, Australia. This is just a small number of universities and nationalities. For example, in 2019, we had, I believe it was 17 different nationalities worth of students. So it's an experience that is very international, that you'll get to meet people from all over the world. They'll become your colleagues, your fellow students, and your friends, hopefully. We often get feedback from our students where previously, before everything with COVID, students sending us pictures of them meeting up in other countries afterwards, or going to visit each other. So again, it's a great opportunity to build that international network with international students who think like you, who have the same aspirations as you. So we've beat around the bush a bit. So now we get on to the main question, really, is how much does it cost? So there are 2 different ways of looking at it. So if we receive an application, if a completed application is received prior to the 28th of February, students do receive a discount on their tuition fees. So as well as the discounts for postgraduate study you get at the end of your program, you can also, depending on how early you apply, you can get another discount on your tuition fee. So without the tuition fee, if you do a 3-week course with us, that's £1,800. If you study with us on campus, you will also pay $550 for the accommodation. Again, that is based at the University of Liverpool's campus, within 5 minutes of all of your classes, within 10 minutes of the city centre. It's right in the heart of Liverpool. And then if you do a 6 weeks, it's basically just a bit less than double. So $3,400 without the early bird, and another $1,000 for accommodation. Now, if you are at a university that is a partner of the University of Liverpool, there are other discounts that come with it, but I won't go into them today. Obviously, if if you think your university that you're studying at might be interested in sending a group of students, there are discounts that can come with that as well. So if you have, if you know any study abroad advisors at your university who are looking for a program like this that might be interesting, it's beneficial for your university, but it's especially beneficial for you. So again, I've mentioned the accommodation already. It says 10 minutes walk from classes. It's, I'd say, about 5. Obviously, you would have to be studying the on-campus 5 credit modules for the accommodation. So you share kitchen and social space between 4 and 6 other students, but it is en suite. So you get obviously your own room. Obviously your own room with your own wash facilities, desk, study space. So, you know, shower, sink, toilet, everything. Very strong Wi-Fi. It's fully equipped. You get a bedding pack when you come to the accommodation that gives you all the basics that you're going to need. So towels, bedding, and so on. So there is a benefit. Obviously, there is a benefit to studying with us on campus. But that obviously is something that is a kind of rite of passage for university students living on the university accommodation. It's where you meet a lot of people, and you get you can make quite a lot of friends. So in terms of the actual study itself, like how much am I going to be studying? So it's about 12 to 18 hours directed student hours over the course of a week. And you also have to do 32 to 38 self-directed learning hours. So when we say self-directed learning, that includes assigned readings, optional reading, homework, web research, and preparations for assessment. So it mimics the university experience in the UK, is that you will have face-to-face contact with your tutors and your colleagues, and you'll work together with all of them. But there will also be a quite large amount of self-directed learning and recommended work for you to do in order for you to get the best out of the program. In terms of a typical ISS day, we have, so you can see it here, over the course of the day, you've got module, lunch, bit of self-study and research, and then an event potentially in the afternoon. So if you're on campus, one example is an Anfield Stadium tour, home of Liverpool Football Club, or if you are one of our online students, we will have an online social program, which you'll be able to get quite a lot out of. The evening's obviously free to enjoy yourself, to get to know your fellow students. If you're in the accommodation, there is obviously social events calendars within there, so you get to meet people again, even outside of the ISS. You also included in the fee, you have social and welfare. So as part of that, we have a social and welfare team in the department. We have daily drop-in sessions for those who are on campus. So obviously we're doing trips and events, which we'll go into a little bit more in the next couple of slides. As regards to online students, you also get the benefit of this. Our online classes in particular are built to reduce what we call Zoom fatigue. So that's the fatigue of doing so many classes online. So we made sure that the program is designed to be comfortable and enjoyable for you. There's obviously live contact with your tutors, as well as the ISS team and our social assistants who are working with us in the summer. We are available. And like I said to you earlier, we're a small team. We're easy to get in touch with. We're friendly people. We're here for you if you do require assistance with whatever it might be, whether it's your course or anything else. So obviously, whatever option you choose to study with us, that support is there. So I've mainly put this picture up because I took it on one of our trips, but some of the organized trips that we do, which are part of your fee and as part of your program if you are studying with us on campus. We have it as an example, a trip to Anfield, the home of Liverpool Football Club. We have this Conway Castle, which is a historic castle in North Wales, beautiful countryside, very British. It's a very British trip, I would say, and same here with Chatsworth House. So you get to view the house and the gardens. And if you've ever watched any sort of British period drama, you'll see a type of a building like this where most of the action takes place. And then we have social events as well. If you're on campus, we'll have a welcome meal. You'll have as part of and campus tours within the first week of you arriving. We'll also have your bespoke graduation at the end, as well as a number of different events across your time with us. And this is similar for online students, is although we're currently developing exactly what the online program is going to entail and doing a lot of filming, getting together a lot of stuff that can sort of give you the same social program experience, there's still going to be a lot of focus on you connecting with your fellow students and getting that Liverpool experience as best as you can. So obviously, regardless, we don't want anybody to feel that they are at a disadvantage because they're choosing to study online or in person. We want to ensure that everybody gets that great experience. Again, social ed, this is again just another another image from our graduation in 2019. Again, gives you an idea that everybody's from various different backgrounds, everybody's friends, everybody's had a good time. So that's basically the end of the presentation within itself. I've put up our contact details here, but again, we will send this information out to you in our follow-up communication at some point in the next week. If you want to contact us about anything, you just contact international.summerschool@liverpool.ac.uk. You can go to our website, which is liverpool.ac.uk/ISS. Now that is where we have all of our information about the program. So everything that I've talked about here, as well as a lot more information and detail about the university, about the city, as well as having a module guide as well. So you'll be able to see exactly what modules that we offer. Unfortunately, there are too many for us to talk through during the presentation. But again, we will send the module guide with our further communication. And of course, it would be great if you could follow us on social media, if that's your thing. You can either scan the QR code that's in the bottom corner of the screen right now, or you can go to the link above it. So link.e/UOLISS. So that will give you links to all our social media channels, as well as to our website and also to our mailing list. So if you want to sign up, we're sending monthly emails to students with additional information. Obviously, I run the social media, I run the website, and I send all the mailing list emails. So if I see that there has been more people joining us on social media or more people signed up to our mailing list, I look very good to my bosses. So it would be great if you could. But yeah, that's basically it. Here is a picture of our graduation in summer of 2019. All of our happy students having completed their program in the very sunny, it's called Abercrombie Square. So this is right outside my office. It's like the heart of the university. It's a huge park, and it's just a lovely space in the afternoon, particularly when it's sunny. At the moment, seeing as it's January, it's quite wet outside here, but once the summer comes, that's what it will look like. So yeah, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to move back into the platform, and if you do have any questions, I will either answer them by typing or by answering them live. So I'll just switch back and hope that works. Okay. Okay, right. So yeah, I hope that was quite clear. I hope that all of the information was understandable. I appreciate that being from Liverpool, I have quite a strong accent. Compared to people I know, I have quite a standard accent. If I was one of my friends, I don't think you would be able to understand them. So hopefully it is clear. I will just pop over to our questions now and let's see what we've got. Okay, so I'll start at the bottom. So what I will do is I click Start Live Answer, I believe. Okay, so can these programs be counted as obligatory summer internships? I know it depends. It depends what you mean by obligatory summer internships. It's not something that I'm particularly familiar with. All I can say is that the study that you do, the modules are accredited, so they are transferable credits to your course. Obviously, it depends on your university and what they accept. but they are accredited via the European Credit Transfer Scheme. Obviously, because you are studying, it's not an internship in that respect. It's more about additional study. But I think the thing to focus on is that this is a strong boost for a resume anyway, because it shows that you have undertaken study in another country or with another university. You're showing that you are developing an international network, and that you are developing a more rounded base of knowledge around your subject. So it does have its benefits in terms of a resume and CV, but I'm unsure, because it is actually studying rather than working, whether it counts as an internship, but you can transfer the credits. So thank you, Osno, for that. Apologies if I pronounce your name wrong. As you can imagine, my Turkish is not very good. Cool. Is 15 credit modules for 1 semester or year? Okay. So Julia Torun. So it's not for 1 semester or a year. The 15 credit modules is only for the 3 or 6 week program. So we condense the 15 credit modules into 3 weeks. So if you do 15 credit, if you study us, there's 3 weeks, study with us for 3 weeks, you'll do 15 credit module. So that will take up all of your study over those 3 weeks. If you study with us for the 6 weeks, you would study 15 credit modules. So unfortunately, it's not a semester or a year option, but the University of Liverpool does have quite comprehensive study abroad options that are for 1 semester or a year. I think it ultimately depends on if your university is a partner of the University of Liverpool. But of course, if you do have anybody within your international department who is interested in that, then by all means ask them to email us. Hopefully that answers your question. Okay, can I still apply if I haven't taken IELTS? So Ibrahim, this is good. So if you don't have an IELTS certificate or score, that is fine. We will send you a test, an online test in advance. So when you do that test, that will tell us roughly what your English language level is. So that will tell us whether you can study on the main program or on the English communication skills pathway. So don't worry if you don't have an English language certificate. That's not a problem. And we will send you a test in advance. It's just, we just say IELTS because that's a kind of standard English, well, that's sort of the gold standard English language test. Okay, hopefully that answers your question. So, Alsan Murat Yilmaz, is TOEFL score accepted? Again, you do not need to have an English language certificate score. You don't need to have a CELT, either a TOEFL or an IELTS or whatever it might be. If you don't have any of those things, we can send you an online test. If you do have TOEFL, please submit that with your application, because we do accept IELTS or equivalent. So we offer, sorry, offer is the wrong word. IELTS is our standard, but as long as you have a TOEFL score which is equivalent to the 6.0 or the 5.0, that's fine. We're based within the English Language Centre as well, so we're very experienced with understanding the English language qualifications and how they all line up. So don't worry about that. If you do submit an application, we will work it out. Don't you worry. Thank you. Okay. Wow, I'm really happy that we've had a lot of questions so far. I've lost where I was. Okay, there I am. Is there any changing this? Okay, is there any changing start dates and application deadlines this year? Okay, so our application deadlines, which I actually didn't mention, you can apply up till the 14th of May if you're doing an online, you're doing an on-campus program. If you are studying with us online, the deadline is the 28th of May. So you have a good 5 months to make that decision. The only thing I would say is that if you want the early bird discount that comes with it, that is, you have to apply before the 28th of February. But you still have about 5 months. Unfortunately, with regards to start dates, the program is fixed. I didn't mention our arrival times and so on, but yeah, the actual dates of the course are fixed, I'm afraid, despite everything. Let me just see if there's anything else in the question. No, I think that's it. But yeah, don't worry about the application deadline. You've still got until the middle or the end of May to apply. Thank you, Faiza. I'm really not doing well with the Turkish names. I apologize. Again, Faiza, I'll just answer this one quickly because I think I've already answered it. But don't worry. With regards to conditional acceptance, because we kind of run our own tests, we're slightly flexible. We can be slightly flexible with that. Because again, the deadline is up until the end of May. There is some flexibility with that. So if you wanted to apply, and for example, you needed to do another test, that is something we can discuss with you. So don't worry too much. But again, because we have the English program that comes with it, you know, regardless of your level, if it's between 5 and 6, there is still a program that is as comprehensive as the main ISS program and still gets you the same benefits. Thank you. I like this platform. This is fun. Okay, so Ibrahim, in terms of an age limit, there's not an age limit up, but obviously these modules are at an undergraduate level. So if you've studied above undergraduate level, so if you've studied at postgraduate level or higher, that you might not get that much benefit out of the modules. So in terms of lower age, you have to be a minimum of 18 years old by the start date of the course. And you also have to have studied or are studying at a university at undergraduate level already. So there are some rules with regards to that. But in terms of upper age limit, no. But typically, sort of our oldest student has been late 20s. And it very much depends on the level of education that you've been studying at. Hopefully that answers your question. Okay, full scholarship. Okay, so we don't have a scholarship ourselves. If you are at a university, if you're studying at a university that is a study abroad partner of the University of Liverpool, there may be places that you don't have to pay for, but it depends on your university. But we don't offer a scholarship ourselves. It's very much, we offer a certain amount of discounts that come from either whether you apply early or whether your university, for example, gets in touch with us to send a certain amount of students. Then there are discounts involved. The main sort of benefits financially will come either from those discounts or with the postgraduate progression awards discount on future postgraduate study. So that's once you've completed your course with us, you would become an alumni and have access to that benefit. Hopefully that answers your question. Okay, Satene, what's the difference between the course on weeks 1 to 3 and 4 to 6? Okay, so you can study with us the whole 6 weeks. The weeks 1 to 3 and 4 to 6, they have different modules. So it depends what you want to study, really. If you were studying with us on campus, I mentioned that we have different pathways. So, and then within those pathways, there are various modules. So you can mix and match that to what you want to do. But obviously, if you do 6 weeks, you have access to all of those modules. If you do just the weeks 1 to 3, the first 3 weeks, or the second 3 weeks, you only have access to half of the modules because we've obviously had to timetable the modules based on staff availability. So in terms of the benefits you get, it's exactly the same. But obviously, if you're here for one of the 2 blocks, you will study different you can choose from different modules, and then if you do the whole 6 weeks, you have access to all of them, and you get a little bit more involved with the whole, and you get a bit more out of it that way, I would say, with the 6 weeks. Hopefully that answers your questions. Again, I apologize if I'm speaking a bit too quickly. I am aware that I don't want to delay anybody. So Sem, so if I plan a postgraduate study, maybe 3 years, this will save me money. Yes, that's exactly correct. So as you are classed as a University of Liverpool student, if you study on the International Summer School, you're a fully registered student for that summer period. When you complete the program and you graduate, you become an alumni, so a graduate of the university. As an alumni, you then get access to a number of different benefits, which we've called the Alumni Benefit Program. Within that is a discount, which is the Postgraduate Progression Award. So depending on the grade that you get when you finish your current university course, you can access between, I think it's like 10 and 12% discount on your postgraduate fees. And that is something that does not expire, providing you've signed up as providing you are an alumni, which you are. We've done all of the work to ensure that even if you applied in 3 years, you would still be able to access that progression award, providing it's still there, which it will be, because it's been going for about 10 years. So yes, that is a very good way of looking at it. It will save you money on your postgraduate, or at the very least, the course will pay, your ISS course will pay for itself, because if you do your 3 weeks, if you do 3 weeks with us, you're saving more than that on your postgraduate course. So that's a great question. So if anybody wants to read the answer to this one, that's listen to the. Okay, can you use summer course credits also at the University of Liverpool? It's a difficult one. The answer, the short answer is no. The reason for that is, and we've discussed this with people before, is the reason why you can't transfer them within the university is on every course, you have very specific things that you have to achieve on the course. So they're called the course outcomes. So they're the things that you're supposed to know, that you're supposed to have done in order to progress through that course, through the different years of the course. Unfortunately, these modules don't line up with that. These are very much standalone modules. So unfortunately, you wouldn't be able to transfer them within the university, but you are able to use them at your current university. Obviously, that depends on what your university offers and how they work it. But it's transferable outside of the university, and that's across the world, but not in the University of Liverpool, because, again, very specific things you need to meet in order to progress through a university course. That's a good question as well. Thank you. Okay. Ibrahim, I'm unsure if it's better to go to university or to go to high school. If you want to study on the ISS, on the summer school with us, you have to either be a university student at undergraduate level or have completed an undergraduate course. So obviously, in order for you to go to university, you have to complete high school. So I think you have to go to high school if you want to go to university. So, and if you want to come to the ISS, you have to be at or have completed a course at high school, at university at undergraduate level. Thank you. What's the minimum level of English? Okay, Ezrin, so the minimum level of English that we accept on the course is an IELTS 5 or equivalent. That will depend, that will give you access to the English communication skills pathway. So that's that's an English focused program specifically to help you develop your English language skills in specific areas. So particularly with communication and employability and so on. If you have the equivalent of an IELTS 6 or above, you will then be able to access the main academic program, but you still get all of the benefits regardless of what program you choose. So yeah, so I'd say 5 is the minimum level. But again, if you don't have an English language certificate, we can send you a short test, which will help us to ascertain your English language level. Okay. All right, I'm going to try and blitz through these questions now. Faiza, do we accept Duolingo? it's not a licensed English language test, but if that is an English language qualification you have, please send it with your application. If it doesn't meet our requirements for an English language test, we will send you a short test which we will use to ascertain your English language level. So this is to everyone really, whatever English language qualification you have, submit it with your application if you have. And if you don't, you can still apply and we can still send you a test. And so, excuse me, don't worry about that too much. All right. Unsure what you mean by this question. Is it minimalized cost for students? Sorry, I don't understand that question. Obviously, I think what you might be putting out here is that, like I said, there are various discounts that come with studying on the ISS. There are discounts for the ISS, and there are discounts that you get for completing a course with us. If you are a student or you have graduated already, it's exactly the same. Thank you. Do you offer on-campus accommodation? We do offer on-campus accommodation. So if you study with us on our on-campus 5 credits modules program, you will be based in Crown Place, which is the university's main accommodation. So it's directly in the center of the university campus. So it's about 5 minutes away from your classes. It's from our office as well, about 10-minute walk. And it's also about 10 minutes from the city centre as well. So you're right in the middle. You're right in the centre of the city and right where all the action happens. So yes, we do. And we also, as part of the accommodation, you get a bedding pack. So that it's like bedding and towels and so on. So there's even less that you need to bring when you come out for the course. So Ibrahim, there's various things you can do. You can either email us. We will be sending out an email to everyone who has signed up with information about that we've gone through today, as well as some other resources. So you can contact us through that. You can email us. Of course, you can contact us on social media as well. It will be me who answers, so don't you worry. We are pretty quick. Well, I'm very quick with the social media, so don't worry. So if you need to contact us, there's various ways that you can do it. You can email us, you can speak to us on social media, or you can respond, or you can sign up to our mailing list. We'll give you more information there. That's on our website. So yeah, there's lots of ways you can get in touch with us. There's only 3 of us, and we're very open and happy to answer any questions that you've got. Okay, that last one again, Ibrahim. Just as a last thing, if you are high school in the 10th grade, you would not be able to access the program until you are at university or you have already completed university. So I'm unsure how the grade system works, but I believe you probably have 2 more years, I think, left. So the program will definitely still be running, and it'll be much bigger than it is now. So don't you worry. If you can, I would just keep our information. If you sign up to our mailing list, which is on our website, you can sign up for our mailing list. We will continue to send you information, so you'll never forget about us. So don't worry. Okay, do we do references? I mean, the postgraduate thing is not my specific focus or my expertise. There are various things that you need to provide in order for postgraduate study. For masters, I do believe, so the main postgraduate level, I do believe you have to have references. In fact, I know we do because I've done a master's myself. Yes, I think it's two references. I think one is an academic reference. You can either have 2 academic references, or you can have 1 academic reference and like a personal character reference. And you do have to write what's the word? You've said motivation letter there. I can't think of the better word. But yes, you would have to write your reasons for what, a letter basically outlining why you wanted to study the course and why you would fit the course, as well as having those reference letters. So yes, in short, yes. Okay, I believe I have answered every question, and that is good timing as well. I'll just check in the chat to make sure everyone's Okay. All right. There's nothing else. I don't think so. Firstly, I just want to say thank you very much for being so patient and for joining me today and for signing up. And I hope there really is something that is interesting for you. I really hope that there is something that we can offer you here at the University of Liverpool. So again, thank you very much. I'm going to put some information in the chat just before we go, just with our website, but I'll type that in now. You can go to liverpool.ac.uk/ISS, or if you want to join us on social media, you can follow the second link, and that will. Sorry, I'm typing, and I'm just I've stopped talking. Great. All right. So again, thank you, everyone. Thank you, and hopefully we will meet some of you this year in the summer. So I'll hand back over to Zainab now, and I will leave you there.
Yes, Simon, thank you very much for your presentation. We believe it was a very informative webinar for the attendees, and you put a real effort answering all of the questions. And
happy to
also,
do it.
I'd like to thank the participants in Turkish as well.
Oh,
Katıldığınız için teşekkür ederiz arkadaşlar. University of Liverpool ile ilgili diğer sorularınız için Simon'ın paylaştığı mail adreslerinden iletişime geçebilirsiniz. Aynı zamanda sizi 8'deki webinarımıza da davet etmek isteriz. Thank you again, Simon. It was a pleasure to have you in IEFT Talks. Is there anything you would like to add before we wrap up?
No, that's everything. Like I said, just contact us or join us on social media if you want to have a chat. We're more than happy to answer any more questions.
All right. Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Goodbye, everyone.